Look, Amanda, there's no easy way to broach this, so I'm just gonna come right out and ask.
But we have a lot of work to do before we even broach that subject.
Your Majesty, may I broach the matter of Lady Marlborough?
Welcome to Talkword, where we explore the meaning, origin, and real-world usage of English words. All right, let's just jump right into today's scenario.
Picture this. You're having coffee with a good friend. But there's a catch. They're also your roommate, and you desperately need to bring up a very awkward shared apartment problem. Basically, they keep leaving absolute mountains of dirty dishes in the sink. You take a deep breath to finally say something, but every single time you gear up to speak, boom, an interruption hits. First, the waiter drops off your lattes. Then, a phone rings out of nowhere. And finally, right as you open your mouth, someone at the very next table lets out a spectacularly timed sneeze.
And just like that, the moment passes. Again. That difficult subject just sits there, feeling like this enormous speech bubble physically stuck right behind your teeth. So, you know that feeling, right? But what exactly is the word for this specific struggle? I mean, how do we describe this exact moment of trying to introduce a really uncomfortable topic? Well, that is why today's word is broach. To broach something simply means to introduce a difficult, sensitive, or potentially awkward subject so that people can actually begin discussing it. Now let's look at how we actually use this in real life. Broach normally takes a direct object. You'll hear people say things like broach a subject, broach a topic, broach an issue, or broach a possibility. But hey, here is a super important point for your fluency. Do not say broach about. You don't broach about a topic, you just broach the topic directly. And you know, this perfectly highlights a really important nuance. Broaching something is literally just step one. It's simply that initial moment of bringing the issue into the conversation. It absolutely does not mean the whole discussion has happened or that the problem is magically resolved. Now, you might be thinking, how is this any different from just saying mention? Well, compared with mention, broach especially suggests that the subject requires a bit of care, tact, or even some genuine courage. So let's bounce back to our coffee shop story and see how this all fits together. You're not arguing about the dishes yet, and you definitely haven't solved the problem. Your actual challenge right now is just finding the right moment and the perfect words to introduce this super sensitive subject without making the whole coffee date totally awkward. Here is how you might finally say it. A really natural pattern you can reuse in your own life is something like, could I broach a slightly awkward subject? Let's look at another highly practical example. You might say, she carefully broached the possibility of moving. Notice how seamlessly that pairs with the word possibility. And if you're in a professional or maybe a group setting, it can sound a bit more formal, like this. It was a difficult issue to broach with the whole team. Okay, let's do a super quick recap to lock this in. To broach something is to carefully introduce a subject that may be difficult to discuss. So what awkward topic might you need to broach next? Think about it. And hey, if you want to explore more English words like this, check out the companion app Talkword, where you can listen to podcast-style explanations of any English word.